The stars stretched endlessly across the black canvas of space, their cold light reflecting on the hull of the human starship Resolute. Inside the ship, Lieutenant Kara Hawkdraven stood in the command corridor, her arms crossed, watching the crew prepare for their landing. Every movement around her was precise, orderly, and professional. Yet Kara felt a thrill she had come to know only in the moments before battle. The mission was simple in description, but dangerous in reality. A distant planet, designated Zyra 7, had seen a sudden rise in insurgent activity. Colonists, mainly human, and a few alien settlers, had reported attacks on supply routes, settlements, and communication towers. The coalition of advanced species, the governing body of nearby systems, had grown nervous. Their standard forces, elegant and disciplined, had failed to contain the insurgents. Now, they had called in humans. Humans were known throughout the galaxy for their unpredictability. Other species admired them for their courage and adaptability, but they also feared them. There was a saying in the coalition, "Never underestimate a human, for they will survive where others fall." Kara smiled faintly, hearing that saying in her mind. She liked to live up to the reputation. The ship's engines hummed as it began its descent through Zyra 7's thin atmosphere. Kara's eyes scanned the viewports. Below, dense forests spread like a green ocean, broken only by jagged mountains and the faint glimmer of settlement domes. The planet was beautiful, but beauty meant nothing to someone trained for war. She thought of the insurgents waiting in the shadows, ready to strike. "Lieutenant Draven," a voice called. Kara turned to see Commander Therian standing near the ship's hatch. He was an alien, tall and luminous, with translucent skin that shimmered faintly. His features were delicate, almost ethereal, but his eyes betrayed intelligence and authority. He had been sent by the Coalition to observe humans in action. Commander Kara replied, nodding politely. She had met Therian only a few times, and each encounter left her with the same impression. He was cautious, curious, and very interested in humans' combat abilities. "I have heard much about you." "Human," Therian said, his voice calm, almost musical. "Your record is formidable. May I ask what is your kill count?" The question caused a ripple through Kara's squad. Humans did not often brag, but they also did not shy from facts. Kara tilted her head slightly, her expression playful yet sharp. "This year," she said slowly, then paused, her lips curling into a small smirk. "Or just this planet." Therian's glowing eyes widened slightly. He had not expected humor, at least, not that kind of humor from a human warrior. He made a small mental note. These humans are not only brave, but bold. Dangerous, perhaps. The shuttle touched down with a soft tremor, the forest floor kicking up clouds of green pollen and dust. Kara led her team down the ramp, each Marine moving with practiced precision. Their armor was sleek, designed for mobility and protection, equipped with the latest human technology. In contrast, the Coalition soldiers who had joined them were elegant, almost ceremonial, but lacked the rugged versatility of the humans. "Remember," Kara said to her team, "these aliens may have numbers and tech, but we have brains, instincts, and adaptability. Keep your focus. Move fast, hit hard, and never let them predict you." Her voice was calm but firm, the kind of voice that inspired confidence. The first stretch of forest was quiet. The sunlight filtered through thick canopies, casting shifting patterns of light on the forest floor. Kara scanned the trees, noting potential ambush points. The insurgents were smart, they always were, but they had underestimated humans before. They would do so again. A low hum suddenly vibrated through the ground. Kara stopped, signaling her team to hold. The sound grew louder, rhythmic, almost mechanical. Out of the shadows, a small patrol unit of insurgents emerged, their armor jagged and dark. They had clearly been waiting for someone to stumble into their trap. Kara smiled faintly. "Looks like they've been expecting visitors," she whispered. The Marines moved as one. With silent coordination, they split, flanking the insurgents from both sides. Human training emphasized improvisation. Each Marine carried tools and weapons designed for multiple purposes: grenades that could emit smoke, flash, or electromagnetic pulses. Rifles that could switch from single shot to rapid fire. Drones small enough to fly through trees and relay images back to the squad. The first shot was fired by Kara's second-in-command, a young Marine named Jox. The sound was sharp, precise. An insurgent dropped instantly, the others ducking behind trees. Kara took a deep breath, her eyes scanning the enemy's movements. She could feel the flow of battle before it happened. A sixth sense honed by years of frontline experience. Divide and isolate, she commanded softly. Use the terrain. The team split again. A drone flew high, emitting a soft pulse that disrupted the insurgents' communications. Kara herself sprinted, weaving between trees, firing with pinpoint accuracy. Within moments, the small patrol was neutralized. Not a single human Marine had been hit. Kara's squad regrouped, scanning the forest once more. The insurgents had left, but traces of their movement remained. Kara crouched, studying footprints, broken branches, and scorch marks from alien weapons. They're planning something bigger, she said aloud, more to herself than to the squad. They're not just raiding settlers. They're preparing for a real attack. Adian appeared from the edge of the clearing, having observed silently from a distance. You see what I mean? He said. Humans adapt, improvise, survive. You are. Remarkable. Kara nodded but did not relax. It's not just me. My team knows what's coming. Humans fight as one, and we think fast. That's why we survive. That's why we win. The commander's expression remained neutral, but his eyes glimmered with interest. Perhaps the coalition has underestimated you. Underestimate humans, Kara replied, her tone casual but confident. Biggest mistake anyone can make. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the forest came alive with strange sounds. Alien creatures, some small, some enormous, stirred in the shadows. The humans set up a temporary camp, using portable shields to create safe zones and silent generators for warmth and light. Around the fire, Kara studied the map of the area. The insurgent activity formed a pattern, concentrated near the settlements, but avoiding the central plateau. Kara pointed to the map. We hit here first, she said, tracing a route through dense forest and high ground. They'll never expect a direct approach from this side. Speed and surprise, that's our advantage. Her team nodded. Confidence was high. They trusted Kara implicitly. She had earned it in past campaigns, and she would earn it again. Therian watched silently, noting every movement, every decision. Humans were unpredictable, yes, but also brilliant in ways that other species rarely understood. Here was a species that thrived on chaos, yet turned it into order, that survived impossible odds, and somehow found victory. The coalition might need to rethink its assumptions about humanity. As the night grew darker, Kara took a moment to herself, stepping away from the fire. The stars above Zyra 7 were brighter than on Earth, clearer and colder. She inhaled deeply, feeling the weight of responsibility and the thrill of the challenge ahead. This was her element. This was why she was born for the frontier. Somewhere in the distance, insurgents moved, unaware of the storm heading their way. Kara's lips curled into a small, confident smile. Let's see how they handle humans, she whispered. And in that moment, under alien stars, the humans were ready to show the galaxy why they were not to be underestimated. The morning sun filtered through the dense canopy of Zyra 7, casting jagged patterns of light on the forest floor. Birds with bright, shifting colors darted between the trees, and small animals skittered among the roots. But for Kara Hawk, Draven and her team, there was no beauty in the forest, only danger. Every shadow could hide an insurgent. Every rustle of leaves could signal an attack. Kara crouched behind a large fern, studying the patrol route of the insurgents through a pair of binocular-like optics. Her squad moved silently around her, each member scanning the trees and listening for the faintest sign of movement. The humans had learned long ago that alien enemies relied heavily on technology, but human ingenuity always found a way to exploit weaknesses. 2 o'clock, whispered Jox, pointing toward a cluster of shadows near a rocky outcrop. Looks like a patrol squad. Standard light armor. It's probably 2 squads ahead of the main force. Kara nodded. Good. Let's test them. Quick strike, then vanish. We draw them out, see what they're capable of. Her voice was calm, steady, commanding. It was the voice that had kept her team alive in countless firefights. The humans moved in perfect synchronization. Using portable cloaking devices that warped light just enough to hide their presence, they approached the enemy patrol. Drones no larger than a bird flitted silently above the insurgents, sending back detailed images of their positions and movement patterns. Kara studied the screen on her wrist. The insurgents were skilled, but predictable. Every species had patterns if you watched long enough. On my mark, Kara whispered. 3, 2, 1. Now, flash of light and a soft hum filled the forest. Smoke grenades exploded near the insurgents, filling the area with thick gray smoke. The humans didn't wait. They moved fast, flanking the patrol from both sides. With precision strikes, each insurgent was disarmed or incapacitated before they could react. Not one human was injured. Not bad, Kara said, crouching behind a moss-covered boulder. But this is only the first test. They'll regroup, and the real fight is coming. The insurgents were clever. They began to retreat, regrouping near a ruined settlement that had once been a human outpost. Kara signaled her team. We follow, but we don't engage directly. Let's see what they're hiding. Humans moved silently, blending with the forest. Their armor was designed to absorb sounds, their boots made to tread softly over leaves and roots. The insurgents had high-tech sensors. The human unpredictability gave them an advantage the machines could not anticipate. As they approached the settlement, Kara spotted a new threat. Alien turrets, automated and heavily armed, had been set up around the perimeter. They scanned the forest relentlessly, ready to fire at any sign of movement. Human ingenuity met alien technology head-on. Kara pulled a small device from her pocket pulse generator. It emitted a short burst of energy that temporarily disabled the turrets. Go, she whispered. The squad sprinted, moving like shadows. Turrets powered back on, but by then the humans were gone, already positioning themselves around the settlement, inside the ruined buildings. Insurgents were preparing a shipment of weapons and supplies. Kara crouched behind a wall, observing them. They're preparing for something bigger, she said. We hit the shipment, then withdraw. Quick, precise, no mistakes. The humans moved with silent precision. Explosives were placed strategically, cutting off supply lines and disabling critical equipment. Within minutes, the insurgents realized they were under attack. But the humans were gone, leaving only controlled chaos in their wake. Kara's mind raced. The insurgents were skilled and resourceful, but humans had something no alien technology could match: adaptability. Every situation could be turned to advantage if one thought fast and moved faster. Suddenly, a warning signal echoed through the forest. Kara signaled her team to take cover. A squad of insurgents, larger than before and heavily armed, had arrived. They were angry, disciplined, and ready to fight. Kara assessed the situation. Outnumbered but not outmatched, she devised a plan instantly. Split into 2 teams, she commanded. Team Alpha, flank left through the ridge. Team Beta, follow me through the riverbed. Draw them apart. Focus on mobility and surprise. The humans moved like liquid through the forest. Every action was precise, every move calculated. The insurgents fired from cover, but human tactics were unpredictable. Kara herself led the charge. Through the riverbed, using the terrain to shield her approach, she fired with accuracy. Disabling enemy weapons and taking control of strategic points, Jox and the rest of Team Alpha struck from the ridge. Taking insurgents by surprise, within minutes, the larger squad was in disarray. The humans were not just fighting, they were orchestrating a symphony of strategy, movement, and improvisation. Even Therian, observing from a distance, could not help but be impressed. Humans, he thought, were dangerous not only because of strength or weapons, but because of their mind. They could adapt, innovate, and exploit weaknesses faster than any other species he had encountered. After the battle, The humans regrouped at a safe distance. Kara surveyed the aftermath. The insurgents had suffered heavy losses and retreated further into the forest. No human lives had been lost, though some had minor injuries. "They'll come back," said Jox, wiping sweat from his brow. "Stronger next time." Kara nodded. "Yes, but now we know their patterns. We know their weaknesses. We've sent a message. Humans are not easy prey. I'll think twice before underestimating us again." The team set up a temporary observation post near a hill overlooking the battlefield. Kara pulled out her map, marking insurgent positions and supply lines. The humans were ready for anything, and Kara's mind already raced with new strategies for the next encounter. As night fell, the forest seemed to hold its breath. Strange. Bioluminescent plants glowed softly, and the air was filled with unfamiliar sounds. Humans slept lightly, ready to react at a moment's notice. Kara stayed awake, scanning the horizon with her optics. Somewhere out there, the insurgent commanders were planning their next move. But so was she. Lieutenant Therian's voice echoed softly. He had approached silently, watching her work. "You humans, you are unlike anything I have seen. Your tactics, your speed, your ability to improvise. It is remarkable." Kara glanced at him, a small smirk on her face. "We survive," she said simply. "That's what humans do. We adapt, we fight, and we don't give up. That's why we're still standing." Therian considered her words, his eyes glowing faintly. "I see now why the Coalition speaks of your species with both admiration and caution. There is power in unpredictability, yes, but also danger. You could change the balance of many worlds if you chose to." Kara's smirk widened slightly. "Maybe we already have," she said. "But right now, my focus is here. This planet. This mission. One step at a time." The night deepened, and Kara finally allowed herself a moment of rest. She knew the insurgents would regroup and strike again, possibly stronger than before. But humans thrived in adversity. That was their greatest strength, and she was ready to prove it again and again. Somewhere in the forest, the faint glow of alien equipment hinted at plans yet to unfold. Kara's team would face them, and they would fight not because they were the strongest, but because they were human, and humans never back down. And so, under the alien stars of Zyra 7, the first battle was over. But the war and the real test of human ingenuity had only just begun. The morning fog hung low over Zyra 7's forests, giving the dense landscape a ghostly feel. Kara Hawk Draven adjusted her helmet, scanning the terrain with sharp, calculating eyes. Yesterday's battle had ended in victory, but the insurgents had retreated deeper into the wilds. Kara knew better than to assume the fight was over. "Humans never underestimated their enemies," Lieutenant Jox said, pointing to a partially hidden ridge. "Sensors picked up something unusual. Heat signatures. They don't match the insurgents' profiles." Kara frowned, narrowing her eyes. "Show me." She moved quickly, her boots crunching softly against the undergrowth. Her team followed, moving with the practiced silence of seasoned hunters as they approached the ridge. The forest opened up to a massive stone entrance, partially covered in vines and moss. The structures were ancient, with smooth surfaces, etched with unfamiliar symbols that glowed faintly in the morning light. Kara stepped closer, her fingers tracing the markings. She could feel the faint hum of power underneath. "This isn't just an insurgent base," she muttered. "This is old. It's very old. Maybe ancient alien tech." Therian, who had been observing from a safe distance, appeared beside her. His luminous eyes reflected curiosity and concern. "You are correct, human. These ruins date back thousands of cycles. They were designed to house weapons of unimaginable power. Be careful, many have tried to awaken them, and none have returned unscathed." Kara's eyes sparkled with determination. "Then it's a good thing humans don't follow the usual path." She stepped forward confidently. Leading her team toward the entrance, the interior of the complex was cool and silent, almost reverent in its stillness. Walls glowed faintly with symbols that seemed to shift when observed directly. The floor was smooth, polished, and free of dust, despite the apparent age of the place. Kara signaled her squad to stay alert, her instincts screaming that danger could be anywhere, spread out. "But stay in line of sight," she instructed. "We don't know what's in here. Watch for traps." As they moved deeper, the team encountered dormant machines' mechanical constructs that resembled both animals and warriors. Their limbs were sleek, and their eyes faintly glowed. Kara studied them carefully. "These are automated guardians," she whispered, "but they're inactive for now." Suddenly, a hidden doorway slid open along the wall, revealing a large chamber filled with strange devices and glowing crystals. At the center, a massive console hummed with power. Kara approached it cautiously. Her HUD scanned the symbols, but they were unlike any known language. She activated a translation module, and a soft voice echoed through the chamber. "AI operational. Awaiting command." Kara's pulse quickened. "Looks like this place is more than just ruins," she said. "There's an AI here, one that can control weapons. And if the insurgents get their hands on it—" Her voice trailed off. The implications were chilling. "We must secure it," Therian said, his voice calm but serious. "If the insurgents activate this AI, they could control armies across the planet and possibly beyond. Humans, your intervention is timely." Kara nodded. "Agreed, team. Let's move. Jocks, cover our backs. The rest, help me secure the AI console." The team worked quickly, setting up portable shields and scanning the surrounding area. Kara connected her interface device to the console, accessing its systems. The AI responded immediately, analyzing her commands and scanning her team. Kara noticed something unusual. It seemed to respond better to human tactics and logic than to standard coalition patterns. "This AI, it recognizes human strategy," Kara said aloud. "It can predict enemy movement, calculate probabilities, but only when guided by someone thinking like us." Jocks frowned. "That's dangerous. If they hack it, it could turn against us." "Exactly," Kara replied, "which is why we're the only ones who can control it for now." As they secured the AI, the forest outside grew restless. The insurgents had discovered the humans' presence and were returning in force. Kara activated the complex's defense systems, setting up turrets and automated drones that immediately scanned the surrounding terrain. The humans would not be caught off guard. The first wave of insurgents arrived moments later. They advanced cautiously, wary of the glowing lights and strange sounds emanating from the complex. Kara watched through her optics, calculating their approach. She knew the humans could not simply rely on brute force. They had to be smarter, faster, more unpredictable. "Team Alpha, flank left. Team Beta, follow me through the central corridor," she commanded. "We divide their attention, confuse them, make them think there's more of us than there really is." The humans moved like shadows, disappearing into the corridors and side passages. Automated turrets and drones engaged the insurgents, forcing them to scatter. Kara herself advanced, using the AI's predictive algorithms to anticipate enemy movement. Every step, every decision, was guided by human intuition combined with alien technology. Jocks and the rest of Team Alpha struck from the left flank, taking insurgents by surprise. The combination of humans and AI-created defenses proved overwhelming. Within minutes, the first wave of insurgents was neutralized or forced to retreat. Kara wiped sweat from her brow, her mind already racing ahead. "They'll regroup," she said. "And when they do, they'll bring reinforcements. But we know the terrain now. We have the AI, and we have each other. We are ready." Therian observed from a secure vantage point, his expression unreadable. "Humans, you are more resourceful than I anticipated. You do not merely react. You anticipate. You improvise. You survive where others fail." Kara smiled faintly. "That's what humans do, Commander. We adapt, we fight, and we keep moving forward. Always forward." The night brought no rest. Kara and her team set up a defensive perimeter, using the AI to monitor movements across the complex. Small patrols moved through the forest, but none dared approach the humans directly. Kara spent the night analyzing the AI's patterns, learning how to integrate it with human tactics. Every simulation, every test, strengthened her understanding. By dawn, Kara had mapped the insurgents' likely next moves. "They'll try to attack from the North Ridge," she said, pointing to a holographic display. "But we can predict their path and cut them off. We can make them think we're vulnerable, then trap them." Jox nodded. "It's risky. If they figure it out..." "They won't," Kara said firmly. "They've underestimated humans before, and they will again. We just have to stay one step ahead." The humans prepared for the next wave. They were tired but determined, their minds focused and clear. Kara's leadership had instilled a confidence that radiated through the squad. They trusted her implicitly, and that trust was their greatest strength. Hours later, as the sun reached its zenith, the insurgents made their move. They advanced cautiously, testing the perimeter and probing for weaknesses. Kara watched through the eye-enhanced sensors, noting every detail. "Wait for my mark," she instructed. "We'll let them come closer. Make them think they have the advantage." The insurgents moved into the clearing, unaware that they were walking into a trap. Kara's team struck with precision. Turrets opened fire, drones buzzed overhead, and humans emerged from hidden positions, striking with pinpoint accuracy. Confusion rippled through the enemy ranks. Kara moved like a shadow, her rifle firing bursts of energy that disabled key targets. She anticipated enemy movements, cutting off escape routes and forcing them into kill zones. Every action was deliberate, calculated, and deadly effective. The insurgents fought back, but the combination of human skill, AI guidance, and strategic advantage proved overwhelming. Within minutes, the battlefield was silent, save for the hum of the complex's systems. Kara surveyed the scene. The insurgents had suffered heavy losses and retreated, leaving behind weapons, supplies, and intelligence that would prove invaluable. Therian appeared beside her once more. "You have done more than contain them. You have turned the tide. The coalition will be impressed." Kara shook her head. "We've only just begun. There's more to this planet, more threats. But now we know we can handle them. We adapt, we survive, and we win. That's what humans do." The ancient AI hummed softly, its systems fully integrated with Kara's commands. It recognized her as a leader, a strategist, and a guide. For the first time in thousands of cycles, it had found a commander worthy of its capabilities. As Kara looked out over the forest, the sun breaking through the fog, she felt a familiar thrill. The fight was far from over, but humans had already proven their worth. On Zyra 7, as in the galaxy beyond, their ingenuity, courage, and adaptability would shape the future. And somewhere deep within the complex, the AI waited, ready to follow the human who had tamed it. The sun rose over Zyra 7, casting long shadows across the dense forest. Kara Hawkdraven stood on a rocky ridge overlooking the alien insurgent positions. Her team was spread across the ridge, hidden behind natural cover, scanning the valley below. Every movement, every breath was measured. The battle they were about to face would test not only strength, but intelligence. "Planning and courage," Lieutenant Jox whispered, pointing toward a cluster of insurgent troops moving into position. "They're bringing heavy units. And more drones. Looks like they've learned from yesterday." Kara's eyes narrowed. "Good. Let them come. They think they've adapted, but they don't know humans. We move differently. We think differently. And that difference will be their undoing." Therian, observing from a secure point nearby, glided silently beside her. "I have warned the Coalition about humans before, Lieutenant. Yet even I am surprised by your methods. You rely on intuition as much as strategy. It is remarkable." Kara smirked slightly. "Intuition is what keeps humans alive. Strategy is what keeps them winning." The insurgents advanced, their armored units glinting in the morning light. Automated turrets set up along the ridges opened fire, but Kara's team had anticipated them. Using portable energy shields and rapid maneuvers, the humans advanced, moving unpredictably through the terrain. Every shot was calculated, every movement designed to confuse and divide the enemy. "Split and flank," Kara commanded. "Team Alpha, left ridge. Team Beta, follow me down the center. draw them apart, and hit hard where they least expect it. The humans moved with precision. Team Alpha advanced through a narrow canyon, using the rocks for cover while engaging small enemy squads. Kara led Team Beta along a hidden ravine, approaching the insurgent supply line undetected. Drones flitted overhead, sending real-time data to the AI integrated with Kara's interface. The AI, now fully responsive to human tactics, calculated enemy weaknesses in milliseconds. Kara relied on it, not blindly, but as a tool to enhance her natural intuition. The insurgents were strong, but human adaptability was stronger. Every move the aliens made, Kara predicted and countered. Suddenly, a loud explosion shook the ridge. A drone kamikaze had struck one of the enemy turrets. Insurgent reinforcements reacted with confusion, not expecting such creative tactics. Kara smiled. Humans did not fight like other species. They adapted, they invented, and they used every advantage available. The battle intensified. Alien energy rifles clashed with human pulse weapons, sparks flying in the humid air. The insurgents tried to regroup, but humans were everywhere at once. It was not mere numbers that determined victory, it was creativity, and predictability, and courage. Kara spotted the insurgent commander. It's a tall alien with crimson armor and a glowing blade. The commander's movements were fast, precise, and dangerous. Kara knew she had to neutralize him before he rallied his troops. "Cover me," she shouted. She sprinted toward the commander, using the ravine for cover. Energy pulses flew past her. An explosion shook the ground, but Kara pressed forward, her rifle firing with deadly accuracy. The commander blocked her first shots, then charged, swinging his glowing blade. Kara leaped aside, rolling and firing a series of rapid pulses that disarmed him temporarily. She circled, using the A's calculations to anticipate his movements. "You humans are bold," the commander growled. "But boldness will not save you." "Maybe not," Kara replied, her tone calm and steady. "But humans survive, and we win." In a swift series of movements, she disabled his weapon with a precise shot, forcing him to retreat. The insurgent ranks faltered without their leader, leaving openings for Kara's team to exploit. Meanwhile, Team Alpha had outflanked the remaining enemy forces, cutting off escape routes and disabling supply lines. The humans struck with coordinated efficiency, their tactics confusing the insurgents and causing panic. No alien strategy could predict the fluidity of human action. From the ridge, Therian watched silently. "Remarkable," he muttered. "Humans do not merely fight. They orchestrate battle. Every move is part of a larger plan, yet adaptable to change. This is genius. Or madness. Perhaps both." The battle raged for hours. Kara and her team moved like shadows, striking, retreating, and striking again. The insurgents had advanced technology in sheer numbers, but humans had ingenuity, courage, and the will to survive. Every trap the insurgents set was turned against them. Every ambush was countered before it could succeed. At one point, Kara activated the AI to interface with the complex's defensive systems. Turrets, drones, and automated barriers came online, creating zones of control that funneled the enemy into carefully planned traps. Humans and AI worked together seamlessly, a combination that the insurgents had not anticipated. The insurgent commander attempted a final desperate charge, rallying his troops for a last stand. Kara met him at the center of the battlefield. Their eyes locked, and for a moment, the world seemed to pause. "You cannot win, human," the commander hissed, his energy blade glowing fiercely. "I don't need to," Kara replied. "I only need to survive and outthink you." With calculated movements, she used the terrain to her advantage, drawing the commander into a narrow corridor where the AI had predicted his path. Automated turrets opened fire from hidden positions, disarming and cornering him. Kira moved quickly, using precision shots to disable his weapon completely. The commander fell to his knees, defeated but alive. Kara lowered her rifle, keeping a watchful eye. Her team secured the remaining insurgents, capturing them for interrogation. The battle was over. The forest fell silent once more, broken only by the hum of drones and the soft whirring of automated defenses. Kara surveyed the battlefield, noting her team's efficiency and resilience. Not a single human life had been lost. The insurgents had been defeated through strategy, teamwork, and human ingenuity. Therion approached, his glowing eyes reflecting admiration. "You have done what few could. You have not only defended this position, but demonstrated the power of human thought and action. The Coalition will be impressed." Kara shook her head. "We're not here for praise. We're here to protect lives and ensure the threat is neutralized. That's what humans do. We fight, we adapt, and we survive." Jox walked up beside her, smiling. "And you make it look easy." Kara smirked. "Easy? Nothing is easy. But humans. We find a way." As the team began organizing the captured insurgents and securing the area, Kara reflected on the battle. This was more than a victory, it was a message. Humans were not just soldiers. They were thinkers, innovators, and survivors. In any galaxy, against any enemy, humans would endure. The AI hummed softly beside her, systems now fully integrated with human command patterns. Kara had tamed it, not through force, but through intellect and understanding. Together, human and machine had created a force capable of turning the tide of battle against even the most formidable opponents. As the sun dipped toward the horizon, Kara looked out over Zyra 7. The insurgents had been defeated, but the planet was still wild, untamed, and full of unknown dangers. Yet Kara knew one thing for certain: wherever humans went, wherever challenges arose, they would adapt, innovate, and survive, and somewhere deep in the galaxy. The Coalition and other species were beginning to understand the truth. Humans were not to be underestimated. Kara turned to her team, her expression resolute. "Rest up," she said. "The fight isn't over. But today, we showed what humans are capable of. And tomorrow, we'll do it again if we must." The forest of Zyra 7 shimmered in the fading light, its strange flora glowing softly. Kara and her team prepared for the next phase of their mission, aware that greater challenges awaited. Yet for the first time in the campaign, they had proven something undeniable. Humans were unstoppable when united, adaptable and determined. And so under alien stars, humans had not only survived, they had triumphed, turning strategy, courage, and intellect into victory. The forest of Zyra 7 was quiet now, but the tension in the air had not completely lifted. Kara Hawkdraven stood on a cliff overlooking the settlements. Her team spread below, scanning for any remaining threats. The insurgents had been defeated, their forces scattered or captured, but Kara knew better than to assume the planet was safe. True victory required not just defeating the enemy, but securing the future. Lieutenant Jox said, coming up beside her. "The civilians are rebuilding. Supplies are arriving. The insurgents won't try another attack for at least a cycle, but there's still a chance they regroup elsewhere." Kara nodded. "That's why we remain vigilant. Humans never stop protecting what matters. We adapt, we anticipate, and we act before the enemy has a chance." She paused, scanning the horizon. The sun was rising, casting golden light across the dense forest and the settlement domes. This planet is ours now, not in ownership, but in security. The people can live without fear, at least for today. Therion appeared beside her, gliding silently from the shadows. His eyes, luminous as ever, studied Kara with an intensity that made her smile faintly. "You have proven something extraordinary, Lieutenant. Not only have you defeated the insurgents, but you have tamed an ancient AI, coordinated your team flawlessly, and turned every obstacle into an advantage. Few species could achieve what humans have done here." Kara's smirk returned. "Few species have the benefit of unpredictability, Commander. Humans think fast, act faster, and don't follow rules other species insist on. That's how we survive. That's how we win." Therion tilted his head, a gesture that somehow conveyed both curiosity and admiration. "Perhaps the galaxy has underestimated your kind. Perhaps humanity's potential is greater than even the Coalition realizes." Kara shrugged. "Maybe, but we don't act for recognition. We act because it's necessary. Protecting lives, surviving challenges, and adapting, that's what humans do. Recognition. That's just a bonus. Meanwhile, her squad moved among the settlements, assisting civilians with repairs, helping establish defensive perimeters, teaching basic survival strategies. Kira watched her team in action. They were disciplined, strong, and efficient, but more importantly, they inspired confidence in those around them. Civilians began to understand that humans were not only fighters but protectors, capable of courage, strategy, and compassion. The insurgent commander, captured during the previous battle, was now being held under secure guard. Kara approached him personally, her expression calm but unwavering. "You underestimated humans," she said softly. "We don't just fight. We think, we adapt, and we survive. That's why you lost." The commander glared but said nothing. Kara did not need his words. Actions had spoken louder than any threat or boast. Later, as Kara returned to the AI complex, she spent time analyzing the systems. The AI, now fully integrated with her command protocols, hummed with quiet energy. Kara smiled faintly. "You work best when guided by humans," she said. "Together, we can protect this planet, ensure the insurgents can't rise again, and maybe, just maybe, help others who face threats like this." The AI responded with a soft, almost musical tone. It had learned to recognize her leadership, her thought patterns, and her decisions. It understood strategy, but it also respected the human instinct for improvisation. Kara knew that together, human and AI could achieve what neither could alone. As the day progressed, coalition representatives arrived on the planet. Tharian led them through the forests and settlements, explaining the events and the humans' role in defending Zyra 7. Many of the alien delegates were initially skeptical, but their doubts quickly turned to admiration as they witnessed Kara's team in action, teaching, defending, and innovating. One of the delegates, a tall, armored alien with deep blue skin and luminous eyes, approached Kara. "I did not believe humans could achieve such results. Your tactics, your leadership. It is beyond what I expected," Kara smiled faintly. "Humans have a way of surprising people. That's part of our strength. We think differently, we act decisively, and we adapt when the situation changes. That's why we survive, and why we succeed." Later, Tharian took Kara aside. "The Coalition wishes to offer you a position of command in a larger task force. Your methods, your leadership, and your ingenuity would be of great value across the galaxy." Kara shook her head. "Thank you, Commander. But my place is here, on the front lines. I fight where it matters most. Strategy from afar is useful, but humans are needed where the challenge is immediate, where lives depend on action, not just orders." Tharian regarded her silently, then nodded. "I understand. Yet the galaxy should know the truth about humanity. They are capable of great feats, beyond what most species can imagine. Your actions today are proof." That evening, Kara gathered her team around a fire in the forest, much like she had on the first night of their mission. The air was filled with the sounds of the forest and the soft hum of the AI nearby. "You did well today," Kara said to her team. "We faced impossible odds and came out victorious. That's not luck. That's human skill, human thinking, and human courage. Remember this moment. Remember what we can achieve when we work together and trust each other." Her team nodded, tired but proud. Each of them understood the lesson Kara had demonstrated. Humans thrived not just on strength, but on ingenuity, adaptability, and the will to survive. Later, as the stars of Zyra 7's night sky glimmered above, Tharian approached Kara one final time. "Lieutenant Draven," he said, his tone solemn, "you have changed the way the Coalition views humans. Your actions, your leadership, they will be remembered, perhaps even feared, in the right way." Kara tilted her head, her expression playful. "Commander, if you want numbers, I can give you our kill count. This year, or just this planet?" Tharian's eyes widened slightly, a faint smile forming. "Perhaps. Both," The moment captured something larger than victory. It captured the essence of humanity: courage, audacity, ingenuity, and the ability to thrive where others falter. Kara and her team had not only defended Zyra 7, they had shown the galaxy what humans were capable of when united, fearless and adaptive. As Kara looked out across the forest and the settlements, she felt a deep sense of pride. Humans were more than soldiers. They were thinkers, protectors, and survivors. They could face any threat, overcome any obstacle, and rise above any challenge. And this was only the beginning. Somewhere in the galaxy, other threats waited. Other worlds needed protection, and other challenges demanded ingenuity. Kara knew that humans would rise to meet them time and again. She smiled faintly, her eyes reflecting the light of the alien stars. "Let's get some rest," she said to her team. "Tomorrow, we continue to protect this planet. And after that, who knows what's next? But wherever humans go, the galaxy will remember. We survive, adapt, and we win." And with that, the humans of Zyra 7 rested. Their presence a testament to courage, ingenuity, and the unbreakable spirit that made them unique in the universe. In the quiet glow of the forest, the ancient AI pulsed softly, its systems forever linked to the human mind that had guided it. It had learned, it had adapted, and it had recognized something extraordinary: the power of humanity. As the stars sparkled above, Kara Hawk-Draven closed her eyes for the first time that night, knowing that wherever the galaxy called next, humans would be ready, and the universe, for better or worse, would never forget them.